Hello everyone, Christian here from TopSpeed, and I am here in a rather cloudy and somewhat British Brooklyn, New York right now, standing right next to the Land Rover Defender OCTA Edition 1 and the standard OCTA, which is behind me. And this is a very exciting time for the brand because this is basically the culmination of all of Land Rover's experience and engineering coming together all in one package, particularly with the Defender lineup. So while the Defender has been with us for a few years and it's arrived in its own different forms, this is basically the ultimate Defender. So we got the 4.4 liter twin turbocharged V8 under the hood and a whole bunch of other cool and sweet updates that's basically making this the ultimate Defender that basically anyone could buy. It's here to make a statement and not just the technology that Land Rover has engineered over the past decades leading up to this point. It's also a statement in performance and just total off-road capability, particularly as we are here in 2024. And this is an important time because obviously the Defender is a very, very iconic vehicle for the Land Rover brand. And I mean, let's see, when anybody talks about Land Rovers, people usually, think about the Discovery and the Range Rover and whatnot, but really it's all about the Defender because the Defender nameplate dates back all the way to Land Rover's origins with the Series 1, 2, and 3, which all have led up to the original square body, the old style Defender, which is what this succeeds. And so I'm going to be joined with Sophia from the Jaguar Land Rover team, who's going to show us around the Defender OCTA Edition 1.
So here we have the OCTA Edition 1. So you can see here on the front of the vehicle, we've got the chopped carbon fiber, which is a detail that is exclusive to the Edition 1. So beautiful finishing there and a detail that speaks to the tough look of the vehicle. We can also see that the front grille is much wider, and you really notice with that big grille the fact that the front of the vehicle is 68 millimeters wider, which creates a really, really big impact as you approach. We've also got the elements of the graphite here on the underside of the vehicle for the durability, so really helping with sort of supporting the underside. So again, we've got more of the chopped carbon fiber elements that we can see along here, beautiful detailing here.
Let's see, we got the integrated snorkels here, which help with the water fording capabilities, correct?
So this is something that has been added on an option specifically to this vehicle. Brazed air intake is actually to help with dust. So a lot of people assume it's for water, but actually it was originally for dust. So think of sort of desert-like sandy conditions, so more of your Las Vegas or Dubai sort of terrains. But obviously that filtration has other added benefits too.
Of course, we got to make sure the air intake is clean.
Absolutely. So here we have the beautiful design of the 20-inch wheel. You can see that the actual design of it is really stunning and unique, and quite a tough design, I think you would agree.
Absolutely.
Very, very individual. And then you can choose from a different range of tires depending on the wheel size that you go for and the terrain that you normally drive on. Obviously, just to state that with the OCTA Edition 1 and the OCTA, this is designed to have maximum capability. So your capability is there regardless, but if you know that you tend to go on mountains a lot, you can pick tires that suit that more. If you're in a city, you can have tires that have traction that's better suited to that environment. But
for sure. And I can obviously tell by the choice of tire. We have Goodyear Wrangler Duratec, which is a very, very durable and very strong off-road tire, as you could tell from the aggressive tread pattern here. Obviously, we're here with the Land Rover and basically one of the most iconic Land Rovers, which is a symbol of off-road capability. And so when you take this machine off-road and into the elements, you obviously want the best tire that you can get that's good for the all-terrain, tackling the all-terrain elements, for sure.
Absolutely. And then one thing that's really wonderful about the system that we have here, and again, this speaks to the incredible engineering team that we have that have put this vehicle together, is we have a suspension system on this called 60 Dynamics. So with this system here, you, on a traditional system, would have two anti-roll bars, so one at the front, one at the back, which are constantly working to stabilize you as you're inside the vehicle. Take those roll bars away, and we have pressurized fluid, hydraulic fluid that individually feeds each wheel as you're driving. So the level of control that that can give you when you're a passenger inside the vehicle means that you haven't got that drift. You haven't got any sensation of this. So you can do all the fun off-roading and have all that capability, but your comfort's there.
Sounds good.
Yes.
And then, so if I'm right in saying the 6 dynamic suspension basically does away with the anti-roll bars completely.
Yes, so it's a completely, the engineering of the system is completely different. So it's individually feeding each wheel rather than bars that sit between two. So your control is hugely different and increased.
Very, very impressive. And
Yes.
if does the elimination of the roll bars actually also increase axle articulation?
So you've got more control within there. We do also have different modes on the vehicle. So we have a dynamic mode, which is a sort of a sporty feel, which is great for inner city driving. But we also have the Octa mode, which amps everything up that you would expect to feel, but for more of off-road driving conditions. So absolutely.
Sounds good.
So something we have in this vehicle, which is a technology that we are delighted to see in here, is the body and soul seats. So are you a music fan?
Absolutely. Who isn't?
I agree. So you know that sensation of when you go to a concert and you can feel the music reverberating through your body? We have partnered with a company called Subpack for this, and we have 4 transducers that sit within the seats themselves, and they intelligently read the music so that it pushes vibrations through your body as you're listening to it to mimic that feeling of being in a concert. And Subpack originally started by creating vests that music producers would wear in the studios when they were creating their songs. So the likes of Timbaland, Pharrell, Billie Eilish, so very big names, and they would make their tracks wearing these vests so that when they were putting themselves in, you know, a year's time, 2 years' time performing, they knew how the crowd were going to respond and feel. So this technology is incredible, and we're delighted to have it in the vehicle. So if you were to put on your favorite song, the technology reads the music to know when the vibrations need to come in. And as enthusiastically as I can speak about it, the best way I can describe this is, it's like bringing the music to life. And you can change the intensity of it. So you can go up to a maximum of 5, or you can go down through to 1, or you can turn it off entirely. But one of the really wonderful things about this is any music fan will love and adore this technology, because I haven't come across anybody yet that hasn't. But actually, if you have friends and family who are hard of hearing, this is a really wonderful way of giving everybody a fantastic experience and enjoying the music together in the vehicle. So if you press the button on the steering wheel there, that shortcuts you to the body and soul seats. So we can turn this on and off. It's for the 2 front seats, and you can see here that you can change the intensity. So this would be at maximum intensity, and then you can turn it down. So when the music plays, that's when it kicks in, and it will read, regardless of the genre of music, it will read the music intelligently, so it will match beautifully. And again, if it's something that doesn't speak to your preferences, you can just turn it off. We do also have the wellness setting. So this is a program that was developed in conjunction with Coventry University. So, and you can feel this coming on now. So the idea being, our bodies are electrical systems, and if you activate certain acupressure points, you can trigger different feelings within the body. So say you've come out of a really stressful meeting and you just want to relax on the way home, you press calm. It loads the preset track, and the vibrations push into your body to promote that feeling of wellness within you. Equally, say you've had the longest day and you're going to go and meet friends and you need to wake yourself up, you press invigorate. It's a different set track. The vibrations change according to the different parts that need to be stimulated to invigorate you.
Fantastic.
So, and as I say, a lot of academia and research has gone into this. It was developed in conjunction with Coventry University, so there's science behind this program. But again, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. The joy of it is it's there if you want it. If you don't want it, you just turn it off and put your radio on, or your music tracks that you like, and just listen to the regular audio.
Very cool. And if I might kind of bounce off with what you're saying and kind of like speak to our viewers here, so there is a lot of science to kind of like how sound and vibrations affect the human body and the human mind, and it's a study called bioacoustics, which I'm sure the developers at Coventry University were definitely keeping in mind when they were developing this system, which is actually a very nice touch to add to an already excellent in-car audio system. You know, Land Rover has really, and Jaguar also has both prided themselves as having one of the best audio systems, in-car audio systems as of late. And I can attest to that because I personally am an audiophile and I love listening to good music and hearing good speakers. And I also recognize, I'm very keen on recognizing very high quality sound systems, and Meridian and Land Rovers have definitely led the way in that respect. And so to kind of to see how those two come together with the vibration of the seats and just how the Meridian sound system comes together is definitely very something to be excited about and to look forward to, especially if you're an audiophile.
Agreed.
So now we're here back outside the Land Rover Defender Octa Edition 1, and I'm here with Daniel, who's going to tell us a little about what's under the hood. So just real quick, the 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 that was in the Defender to begin with is also under the hood of the Octa 1, but it's received a little bit of tweaking, which Daniel's going to help us go over real quick.
Yes, that's correct. It is the same engine, it's a V8 mild hybrid. The difference is the tuning. So you're looking at a vehicle that has 630 horsepower and 590 pounds of torque. That's basically it.
Very cool.
0 to 60, we have an updated record, 3.8 seconds.
Woo! That's one fast offender.
It was 4 and it went down to 3.8. They did a little more tuning and
very, very, very cool. So I guess that means you're not going to be short of acceleration power when it comes to the Defender Octa. And of course, power is a good thing when you're doing a lot of off-roading, especially if you're going through some real tough stuff.
And it's especially amazing when you're talking about a vehicle that's 2.5 tons. Mm-hmm. And to get to 3.8 in 60, that's pretty amazing.
That is very amazing, very cool. So another cool feature that Daniel's also going to tell us all about is one of the new drive modes that comes with the Defender Octa, which is actuated by the steering button right here below just the horn pad on the airbag, and you push this and it goes red and it goes into the Octa mode, which is bespoke to the Octa version of the Defender. And yes, if you could tell us all about that, Daniel.
Yes, thank you. So there are two additional drive experience modes on this particular vehicle. One is going to be the Octa mode, so it gives you the most off-road capability of the vehicle. And we also have the dynamic mode, which will give you the most capability on the on-road.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll be sure to push that button if I ever get the chance to drive this guy in some very adverse conditions, which I'm sure it can handle very well because, of course, it's a Land Rover Defender. Thank you so much for your time, Daniel. I really appreciate you giving us a little bit update of what's under the hood.
Yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yes, of course. And then once again, thank you folks for joining me. I'm Christian from TopSpeed. We are here with the Land Rover Defender Octa Edition 1. And of course, we got the standard Octa right there in the background. But of course, being in Edition 1, we got a bunch of very unique appointments and features here that separate the Edition 1 from the standard one. Either way, it's a very exciting time for the Land Rover brand. It's also a very exciting time for the Defender to see all this technology and all this tradition just come to culminate all together to create what we have here as the ultimate Defender. And all I can say is, I can't wait to get it dirty. I'll catch you next time.